Check, check, check. It's one of them days. Oh, it's one of them days. Let's go. We're gonna rise above it though. Rise above it. It's one of them days. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check. All right. Let's do this right, y'all.
Primo, what you giving over where you front, motherfuckers?
Check 1 2, check 1 2. This your host with the most, live from the West Coast, Professor Trench. And once again, this is Trench Talk Podcast. I want to welcome everybody in here. You know, we got a whole lot of shit to talk about today. Give me 1 second while I get this right. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, now we back online. Give us 2 seconds. Let's make sure everything is running right. 2 seconds. Let's make. All right, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. We got our other phone handy, so we're gonna do some. I'm not gonna say research, but we're gonna talk that talk. Only talk we know to talk is to talk straight from the trenches. So, Kanye, you know, we've had three to four different parts where we have literally took some dirt, took a coffin, and found some land and buried this motherfucker there, but he keeps reemerging and he comes back 10 times stronger. So salute to Kanye on that for not never giving up. But I mean, he proves himself to always be a lame. Let me tell y'all something. A lame is just merely somebody who really just wants to be accepted for who they are. But nobody's going to accept them for who they are, so they tend to do the extra shit in order to be accepted. Because if you can't be normally you and be successful, what is the point? So, Kanye has been doing weird stuff. You know, he was everybody knew that he was bogus. But he came out on an interview with academics basically stating that, you know, all these people, he's the fashion don, he's the fashion god, you know, nobody is smarter than him, he's benevolent, he's God in so many words, and you know, that's that foul shit that most people on this earth really don't want to hear from another man. If you're gonna say that you God, you gotta fly for me. Bare minimum. God knows that when the inspiration for Superman came, everybody wants to see a nigga fly. That's all we want to see. We don't want to see some nigga who went through a fucking windshield and lost his mom and never knew how to handle all that shit, wife up hoes, and then when ain't nobody doing what he say or things ain't going the way he want, he's out here telling the whole world, he's telling the world and Jewish people and everybody to suck his dick. This nigga here is out of pocket. Now, I will say this. That interview with academics is the funniest shit I've ever seen. It's funnier next to Def Comedy Jam. It's funnier next to a Mike Epps comedy. It's funny as a National Lampoons because it's all this together. Now, when you watch academics say, yeah, well, he told us we got to do it this day. There's a lead up to seeing this nigga like this, but it's not. Now, everybody needs to be real. He didn't instantly walk out with the Klan outfit. He was talking to academics. He was like, yeah, some. Then he put the outfit on. In real manhood, you gotta look a person in the eye. I have an eyesight problem, so it hurts me to look people in the eye, but I do it still. If a nigga is talking to you with a Klan outfit and you have knowledge of what has come long before and they're trying to give you this, the hood is actually made in Spain. Look, niggas don't know nothing about that. You show up with a pillowcase with a pointy top at the top, you rocking a Klan outfit. Why are you rocking it? Now you all for these Jews. Now you against the Jews. Motherfucker, hey look. We ain't fucking with Adolf West. I'm not fucking with the Adolf West movement. I'm here to tell you, and most of us can honestly say this, we never fucked with Ye. That was them niggas who still to this day They was doing it as a kid. They're doing it as a grown man. They gotta follow the bandwagon. Wherever the bandwagon go. The bandwagon hasn't been messing with Ye for some time. Since that whack ass Life of Pablo album. Since that whack ass Jesus album. He ain't had nothing fire since Graduation. I'm saying it here at Trench Talk. Ain't none of that shit been fire. Look, I told people back then, and didn't really think about it, but I kind of was ahead of the time. The way everybody chases clout. I'm surprised somebody didn't just get into a fucked up car accident and didn't just make a song called Through the Windshield. Because, I mean, he had Through the Wire because his mouth was wired. But if you go through the windshield, hey, it's a great satire song, and on top of that, you get to tell your story. I'm a marketing genius, low key. I just don't like talking to people that often. I give academics credit, so much credit for keeping a straight face. Because at a certain point, I would have been standing there talking, and I'd have been like, Nigga, you better take that shit off right now, bruh. What is wrong with you? Take that off. Get that goddamn hood off your motherfucking head. Everybody knows that tone means that you done fucked up and you got to get that shit up off your head. All y'all who was saying back in the day that Kanye West is a genius, let me tell you something. I don't even remember that nigga being at a keyboard. Do you remember that? Have you ever really seen this nigga play a symphony or anything? You ain't never seen this nigga just make up a symphony. He took old symphonies, mixed it with a little bit of old school, and then put it out in the time that was current in its time. That doesn't make you a fucking genius. If that's the case, DJ Premier is the genius over all these motherfuckers. Alchemist, all these motherfuckers. They've been dropping projects way more fire than that bullshit that Kanye was dropping. All the cats that really, in the early 2000s, that was just coming along and getting along with rap, they couldn't take the aggressiveness that rap naturally is. In all reality, Kanye West should have been making fucking R&B songs from the beginning to the end of his entire career. He's trash as a rapper. He ain't said shit that I didn't already think. He ain't say shit that my pops didn't already think, that my granddad wasn't already thinking. All them Negro niggas love Kanye West. They love that shit. They love that woe is me and the drums of a slave train. And nigga don't want to hear none of that shit. We want to hear the locks. We want to hear motherfucker. I don't even listen to Hove. I want to hear Nas. If I'm gonna listen to somebody from an era that and they talking some shit you could live by, Jadakiss, Pac. It really ain't a lot of these niggas that you could really live off they fucking word. I'm gonna say in today's time, Larry June, Pedro Giovanni, and then all the way back in the day, in the early days before my time, you had Grandmaster Melly Mel. Grandmaster, this is how stupid people really are. Grandmaster Melly Mel's song White Lines should have stopped people from doing cocaine. Everything he described is exactly what a person's going to go through. Ticket to line, tickets ride, white line highway, tell all your friends they can go my way, take control, sell your soul. I mean, like, to the people that become full-time blow users, they know that this is how it goes. I don't know a motherfucker that consistently fucked with that Ye that didn't smack the ground when the time came. When the time came for them to learn a lesson about life, it's kind of like they missed a cushion and all they do is skydive straight forward for the fucking concrete. When they smack that motherfucker, man, they bitching at a rapid rate. Yeah, you know, my nickname out here is Kung Fu Bo, but check this out. Ye is a weirdo. All y'all who was fucking with Ye back in the day, y'all weirdos too. If everybody agrees, anybody who's really a music fan, we know that Graduation album was phenomenal. His first album was phenomenal. That second album, fourth album, and everything after that, boom. You're not Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's weakest album is Compton, and boom. It's this some silly shit. Now, I wanted to play some of the clips. I want to play some of the clips, but I can't catch when he's saying the F-bomb. So when I originally did the show, it was all the audio was out, but it was hilarious. When it's all said and done, real men, you need to let all real men grow stronger. Steel sharpens steel. Like straight up. Nobody became sharp from fucking with Kanye. You became a lot of y'all became great workers. You're great at going to work and spinning on the hamster wheel. You got your earphones on talking about, I've been on this slave ship and I ain't made No! That's y'all shit. But for the people who see more, they gonna go to Hove. Now, the one thing I'm gonna say, that I'm gonna honestly say is the best part of interviews when that nigga said, and I knew it, that's the nigga in him. He said, man, fuck Jay-Z. Man, fuck Jay. Where was he at when I was trying to get my daughter? When I was trying to get support? Nah, that nigga became political. And Hove, you really did become a sucker. Them dreads you got, I'm waiting to find out that's a wig. That's just an oily ass wig. I'm waiting to hear that, because I know niggas with freeform dreads, and ain't nobody shit growing at that rate. Unless he got extensions in this shit. But you know, these niggas that want to be in front of the camera, they don't want to accept who they really are. Niggas be 40 years old, 45, 50 years old, and still trying to be like 20 years old. And you get no respect out here for that. In the realm of hip-hop, the most respected MCs did one thing, and that was grow. Go back and check out the Locks in their early albums. Now go listen to what they talking about now. Go back and listen to I'm trying to think who was rapping in the 90s that's still rapping today and really evolved. Nas has evolved his entire style. Always was a lyrical perfectionist when it came to them rhymes. But when it's all said and done, there's one thing I will say is that he grew with his rhymes. When that nigga said, from wings with hot sauce to tuna tartare, from driving RRs to hiding Ferrari victims in back of cop cars, that line sat with me. That shit was one of the most powerful lines that came out in the last 10 years of rap. And that shit came out like 2 years ago. That's Reminisce. That's on the song Reminisce. I'm trying to think. But Kanye ain't said shit that you could really say, man, as a nigga, I feel that shit. Not nothing. For all of us who really lived a life that was a little bit on the edge or over the edge, Kanye ain't gonna help you deal with your hard times. You gotta go to the realest, that scarred face. You gotta go to Styles P. You gotta go down there to damn, what's that nigga that Trade E. You gotta go to the real ones. Freeway. When you going through some real shit, that Freeway album, that first album, is one of the greatest albums put together. Now let's talk more on now let's talk on now let's get on this bullshit. The final one, I'm going in. I'm going in on these funky bitches calling the police on real niggas, but right now, let's go in on the church. Marvin Sapp's 40K play. That is by far, if you was, a lot of people, now I'm gonna say this, if Marvin Sapp, whether he knows it or not, he really just told a lot of people to stop going to church. I can take my 10% and give it to an elder person in my family that's really in need, or a young person that's striving to get to their next level, but I know where my money is going. When I give my money to the church, I don't know if I'm gonna see this fucking preacher 1 week, 2 days later on fucking 59th and Fig, or on fucking 69th and Fig buying a fucking hooker. We have seen so many crooked preachers in our lifetime that people stopped going to church 20 years ago. A lot of people really just wake up, pray, tell God the honest truth. I'm thankful for life, but God, I need this paper. Before they do like Nate Dogg and load up that 22 and walk right in the store and say, dear God, forgive me, please, but I can't be broke no more. So Marvin Sapp, at the end of a church sermon, pretty much, as everybody was getting ready to leave, he told He said we need to get to 40K. So instead of, he didn't say in his never would have made it voice, lock the doors up, close the doors, niggas. He said, close the doors. Ushers, close the doors. You know, if you say something like that, a motherfucker ain't gonna be really quick to snap on you. But if you yell and be like, close the doors, Usher, never would have paid it. But Marvin Sapp bogus is a motherfucker. You trying to get $40,000 in less than an hour from an entire clergy? Then tell everybody you in the VIP up here. Y'all niggas got to give $100. Nobody, man, I don't fuck, man, I'll be ready to fire that nigga shit up. I'd be like, hey man, hey bro, you know what Cameron said? It could be March 2nd, but it's about to sound like July 4th around this motherfucker. I'd have got up and walked out. I know my pops, my moms, me and my sisters, we would have got up and walked the fuck out and never came back. I wonder how many people came back the next week. Church is an indoctrination zone. When a lot of us, when we go to church, we just going to get a good word. It starts as that. But eventually, the word leads to interactions with people from the church. Some of y'all meet a little bad chick from church, you know, she's talking that good word, is resonating. Eventually, you'll just do anything to get next to her. Then eventually, you'll do anything to stay around her. And now you're at a church you don't even give a fuck about, and one day you're going to snap back into yourself. Stay into who you are up here. Because if you think that shit is bogus, it's bogus. You're individually not meant to be there. Prime example. I am trying to stop smoking cigarettes. The ironic thing is, somehow, some way, it's almost like destined for me to have them around. And the moment I'm not meant to be around anymore, it'll go away. That's how you're supposed to treat shit in life. I feel the same way about my weed, but you know, I love weed. I love weed more than sometimes some of my relationships because weed never backfires or talks crazy to me. My ladies, anybody I ever dated, the final breakup conversation is that moment they talk crazy. But and it's just me telling the God honest truth. I mean, this is Tricks talk. I'm the professor. I'm about to give y'all lessons. Listen, I'm 41 years old, still young, six packed up, arm game for a skinny nigga strong. I'm not taking shit from nobody. That's how you live a long life. You ain't gotta argue it, but here's the twist. You can't do it by arguing. Arguing riles you the fuck up. Has your heart doing this. And the moment you stop being riled up, your blood flow in your heart closes up like that. Now you tight at the chest. Now you ready to check the fuck up out of here. Now imagine if you've been with somebody for 10 years, 20 years, and you've been doing this repeat shit. You'll be dead in about 5 years. It don't matter how much sea moss you drink. It don't matter how much of that running you do or hit the gym or hitting all them dumbbells. You got a dumb motherfucker around you, got you arguing all the time, men and ladies. You know what I'm saying? You on your way out. And tell your kids the same thing too, because the younger your kids start dating, the more they're... But they healthy. About 35, 40, you need to stop arguing with somebody. You shouldn't even be with somebody that you arguing with. But you're gonna argue. So. And look, I just gave some real good advice. You didn't have to give me 40K. But if you want to give me something, you can go to @ProfessorTrench on Venmo and send a nigga some, or $Trenches and send the team. This don't just go to me, this goes to the team. Send the team some money. Trenches at Cash App as well. Now, I'm not mad at Marvin Sapp, but at the same time, I understand that the church isn't a 9-to-5 job. Preachers don't get paid by the hour, but I'm gonna say this. If you priests live rent free. Priests have a place by the church that they get to stay in, and they switch churches out. Because I went to Catholic school as a kid, so we used to ask them that. The sisters of a Catholic church, the same thing. Pastors are hustling. If you know anything about somebody hustling, they will say and do anything to get your money out your pocket and into theirs. Oh yes, and there's really no need for anyone to feel bad for Marvin Sapp. Straight up, hey, drop another single. Drop another song called 40K. That's what we want to hear. Drop a song called 40K for the Lord. That's what I'm one of them people. If you do that, I'll be like, you know what? I gotta go to this church just to see what I just gotta experience this. All right, now, oh, now it's time to set the mood right. Where's my organs at? Let me get my organs in order. Rest in peace to young Scooter. Rest in peace to young Scooter. Because he lost his life for nothing over a funky bitch running around this motherfucker thinking, all right, hold on. It's time to talk about it. A funky bitch called the police on this nigga Young Scooter, man. All he was doing was getting ready to go turn up. He was pre-gaming, getting ready to go to a party. And it just so happened to be his birthday party. And a funky bitch called the police, said that a woman was getting drugged into the house that he was in, that there was babies in the house. The funky bitch saw to it that she get him arrested. But he didn't get arrested. He was murdered by the police. FTP. And the funky police had the nerve to say that he fell on a fucking gate. And all of us believed it. Shout out to Aaron Brock, because me and him had a conversation earlier. And he really said, do you think a motherfucker would actually, nigga been hopping gates all their lives, and all of a sudden he falls on the gate and dies. And gets stabbed in the leg and dies. And then the bitch got the nerve to get on social media, knowing the police looking for her, and say, I was being abused. It was me. You didn't hear shit in the background of that fucking call. You could tell she was at home or in her car looking at whoever was in the crib. There is being and now she did the smart thing by taking her motherfucking ass in jail, because the streets was going to have her laying on the lawn of the Lord. So, you know, that all around, it's just super foul shit going on. It's the end of the streets in media. If you don't see what everyone is doing, it is the end of the streets being involved in media. It is the end of the streets being bigged up. The end of organized crime, gang culture, like whether you want to accept it or not. Gang culture, drug dealing, like the biker scene, whatever you want to put. If it has nothing to do with going to work, paying taxes, and raising your family, and and it's damn near illegal. You go to the club, it's illegal to drink and drive. Most of the club leaves and drinks and drives. Motherfuckers is out here really with a bad misconception of what life is. And it's media that's twisting it up. A lot of y'all wake up looking at quotes and shit, and that's inspirational from a fucking robot that does not get up and get on the grind like you. It knows nothing of depression. A lot of these people are just motherfuckers. They go on Chat GPT, put some shit out there and then put it out into the world, not realizing you doing more damage than you're helping. The best thing to ever help somebody is experience. If you are not an experienced individual, and I learned this from my own experience, if you don't have people around you that says, go walk 2 blocks, make a right, and go through that door, the second door, there's a job waiting for you right there. That's what people really want to hear. Don't nobody want to hear, yo, oh, I got the cures to all your financial woes, and it's hidden in this 18,000 piece Rubik's Cube. You're an asshole if you do that. And it means you don't know what you're talking about. Now, the bitch that lied on Scooter, I'm so happy that they got that. I'm so happy that it's justice. Because if it was a nigga that did that, man, they had that nigga in jail, getting fucked over every which way that you could ever think of. But it's crazy that this woman, she looked bomb as fuck in the first picture they showed. The second picture they showed, the bitch looked like a villain from Captain America. No, I'm tripping. She looked like a villain from Captain Planet. She was all fucked up. It was a duck on her head because she was such a bird-head bitch. That is, hey, I can't even say woman. I can't say lady. I can't say little girl. This is a bitch we talking about. Things ain't going her way. She want things to be the way she sees it in her mind. And so instead of following through and doing what's right, she wants to be a bitch about it. And call the police and put false charges. You can't call somebody a woman that does that. You can't call a man when he does that. These is bitches right here. Bitch ass niggas and bitches that's really hoes at heart. This bitch if you got beat up and you still got the nigga number in your phone and you ain't put charges on him or got your cousin or somebody to, or some way, somehow get justice for yourself, don't go around and do a snake way. Do it the way it's supposed to be done. Head on and dead on. Fuck you rats out here. I had something else to talk about. Anti-rat shit. The guy that was charged under the Mo3 killing, he's basically trying to say, look, Yellow Beezy is innocent. He didn't do anything. I did this. I'm taking this wholeheartedly across the chin. And he didn't have a mask on. He hopped right out. We all saw him. And it's safe to say, hey, he's standing 10 toes down on what he believes. He's standing 10 toes down on what he sees. And there is absolutely nothing you can do but say, hey, man, I hope Yellow Beast look out for you while you in there, nigga, because if he don't, nigga, Yellow Beast will be joining that nigga soon enough. It's the classic Nicky Barnes syndrome. If a motherfucker takes a fall for the whole team, one of you niggas fuck they bitch, the ratting begins. Because once you see something happen, it's not that it's the first time. It's a form of normalized behavior that people just don't see. So we seeing all these rats. The ratting didn't start with Tekashi. The ratting started way back then with Nicky Barnes and Rayful Edmonds, active players who got caught up and then snitched. But there is one person that, when you're looking at all these indictments, when you're looking at all of this stuff, nobody has taken the Frank Matthews route. A lot of y'all, if you know you out here selling work, if you know you out here doing wrong things, for one, stay off of this internet. This internet is for us squares who really ain't got shit but family shit going on. We just doing family things out here. But if you know that you at the hood days, you in the functions, you doing this, that, and the other, you better not speak on the streets. I'm gonna give you street niggas a bit of advice. Open a game channel. Open a cooking channel. Open a agriculture channel. But stay the fuck away from reporting on any news, let alone arguing with somebody on social media. Because cats on social media, they will find out that you was left on the fucking doorstep of a nun and have the nun getting interviewed by him. If you're not ready for that, then stay out of the street business. And when it's all said and done, I hope that No Jumper and all them fuck niggas over there really get that shit shut down, because the way they reporting on crime and all that stuff, they've gotten a lot of people in trouble, locked up, and murdered as well. There's no way that the question that they're asking should be asked, and I'm not just saying on some gangster shit, on some man shit. Men know that you have a family, a mother, a girlfriend, children. You have one of these things on the planet. So if you got the nerve to sit there and you don't know this nigga like that, and then you get on the platform and say, "Oh, so what do you have to say to the ops?" The fuck are you asking them that for? What the fuck you asking them that for, cracker? I mean, like, for real. That's where you got to get to that point. I'm blacking out now. This is a blackout episode. We don't care. Because I find it weird that Adam says real condescending things to street guys because he knows that in the event anything goes wrong, he only employs people who have activity under their belt and then questions them about their expertise on it. And these niggas are stupid enough to answer. They're dumb enough to give quotes on things they've done that is, I don't give a damn if it's within. Once you've seen what Bill Cosby got charged for, there is no such thing as statute of limitation. That is something they wrote down, but anytime they want to switch the books up, they will. Don't admit to nothing. Admit to being God-fearing, family-loving, and tax-paying individuals. Anything outside of that, you catch a fade, you got into a fade as a man. But technically, it's an assault case, so you shouldn't talk about it. Or if you had an argument and it led to an assault, that's assault and battery. You shouldn't talk about it. You out here getting money illegally? Don't show no fucking money on the internet. In fact, show a pocket inside the fuck out at all times. That way, when they go to say, "Hey, well, he had hundreds of thousands." How does he have hundreds of thousands? We went on his social media. All he has is pockets inside out. This is the dumbest era of criminality I've ever seen, not because people are doing crimes. It's old niggas getting caught. These niggas is 29, 30, up to 60 plus years old getting caught by the feds. And if you think it don't make sense, it makes perfect sense. They let the crackers of America will let you murder your whole community. The moment you go over there to a little Amish area, the moment you take your ass over there to Jewtown, the moment you take your ass anywhere that the crimes would lead the people that live in them areas to spend enough money to make sure that you have to do your job, they're doing their job ahead of time in those areas because they don't want to hear anything because they could lose the commissioner. Everybody loses their job. Nobody loses their job because you kill a nigga. Nobody loses their job because packs of blacks and Latinos are killing each other. Nobody really loses their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is really one of the, it's a cold ploy. And let's circle, and it circles back to this. That is in all reality what Ye is trying to tell y'all. Ye is just really trying to say, look, if I put the swastika up, it's because I know the Jewish people made money off the black blood of people. So I'm making money off a symbol that caused trauma, but we're exchanging trauma. That's kind of what I think Ye is trying to tell you. Like, leave my culture alone, I'll leave yours the fuck alone. You see Hov trying to fuck with rap anymore? No. You don't see Rihanna no more. You don't see Ye anymore. All the where's the Dream at? You don't see nothing about it. None of the cats that was up under that early Rock Nation branch. Now what do you hear? You hear this lady that you hear what? The Rock ain't dropping shit. Shout out to Top Dog, man. And last but not least, the baby. The baby's freestyle. I was that LA Leakers or was that Power 106? Either way, that nigga talked that talk. He was talking that shit. And everybody and all you cats that don't understand how diss records work, if you don't say the person's name as far as so and so, like when Pac says, first off, fuck your bitch in the clique you claim, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say it immediately, but then when he goes into Biggie Smalls, Junior Mafia, it's some mark ass bitch. Yeah. When Nas says, and Jay-Z and Cockefeller Records wanted beef, when Kendrick said, say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to Cell Block 1. When Ice Cube says, an easy dick, it smells like MC Ren shit. When 50 says, Yo, that's Ja Rule, punk ass thinking out loud. Southside tie dye, that's just how I get down. Those are real I gotta call my baby right now. We gonna probably do another show later on. We gonna check to see what's going on in the world. Uh, check 1 2. Yo, what's happening with you, Rock?
What up, bro? Where you at with it?
I'm at the studio. You on the you on the podcast now?
Oh, what's up? What you doing the podcast about?
I was just talking about how all these I was just talking about the funky bitch that got young Scooter killed in the police bogus. Basically, I was bringing up the point where you said niggas been hopping fences all their life and ain't got stabbed, ain't died in that shit yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like I touched on Marvin Sapp's 40K play.
Oh yeah, that was a cold one.
I said what he should have did was screamed it like the Never Would Have Made It song, like lock the doors for 40.
Well, if you get some time, I might need you. I might need a favor out of you.
Okay, for sure. Shoot, I'm about to get off the live right now, so I'll hit you right back.
Okay.
All right. And that was the fellow CEO, the CEO of the trenches, Big M Rock. You know what I'm saying? We out here working all the time, like, and shout out to California Doughboy, man. This is the trenches, man. We got it from the mud. Now we blooming like trees and fucking branches out here. Don't get poked. This is your host, the most live from the West Coast, Professor Trench, staying live, staying free while you niggas is suckers on the bench. And this is Trench Talk Podcast. We'll be back, and we doing lives from here on out. Peace. Yay, yay.